Well, how is everyone doing today? It's been a little bit since I've done a car vlog, a few days at least. Um, let's talk about mental health and the effects of VR with it, because this has been something that's come up. It's something that I've thought about. I've asked a few people about it, and I thought it might be a good topic as well. Um, Now, as all of you know, things have kind of shifted around here. I've dove into what's called VRChat. It's an online it's an online forum of sorts, but it's not really a forum. It's an online VR space, a virtual reality space where you can meet plenty of other people or just explore worlds. And every single world you explore unlocks a new sort of thing out there in the world. All of these are self-made worlds, and it's an incredible experience when you get into VR chat. Now, you don't need a VR headset to go into something like this, but the VR headset, there is some optimized worlds that are very, very much a different experience when you hop into there in VR. Now, the funniest thing about all of this, when I decided to dive into VR chat, I didn't have a headset or anything like that. I decided to check it out. I was going through a bunch of spaces, going through a bunch of things. My mental health, the state of my mental health was one of those things where I sat there and I was questioning a lot of things. What's going on around my world? How is this? What is going on here? And I've spoken at length about commentary stuff, video games, how they've gone down the spiral. And now it's like, okay, am I going down a spiral, or am I doing something that's actually more beneficial for me? And I came to the latter. It's really has been more beneficial for me, mentally and honestly, emotionally, and just overall happiness, and overall well-being. Diving into this for myself has been really amazing in that sense. I'm in a state that's a lot better than I once was. I was always worrying about, tomorrow, and now I just live in the moment and just enjoy things that really do come forward. It really reminds me at this point, it reminds me of the days when I used to play World of Warcraft. We used to meet every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and we would raid. Now, before that happened, I had to get to a point. I had to walk. I had to learn how to walk before I could raid. And I it was a weird time. I found myself, I was laid off at the time, and I was like, you know what? It's been a while since you played WoW, and I dove back into WoW, and this is a week before Cataclysm came out. And in that week, that's all I did. I leveled from level 1 to 80. Now you can just buy your level whatever it is in WoW if you really wanted to. But I leveled from level 1 to 80 in a week. And it part of it was so I could raid with friends that I knew in real life, and that turned into something a little bit more. We were raiding like every week, and there was way more things to do with that. I made a mage. I became the top DPS mage on the server that we were on. I believe the server was Sentinels, if I remember. And I excelled at certain things of that, and it really became a different sense. And you always had this sense of being able to go do something with friends and being able to do things. And that's kind of where VR chat has appeared. I draw the very similarities with VR chat, always being able to log on, find a friend that you can hang out with, and just converse and do things together, play Cards Against Humanity, play puzzles, go through escape rooms, just do so many more things. Or honestly, just enjoy other people's company and sit there and talk and just learn more about everyone that you're interacting with. It's a hell of a time. And for me, mentally, having that sense of being able to hop into a VR headset and being able to hop into somewhere has been a game changer. In all honesty, I don't get out. It's kind of tough. I do have the wife, I have the kid. We don't get out at all because our kid has special needs. Because of those special needs, we generally are stuck at home. So once the kid goes to bed, that's the time I get to kind of play around and do things. And At the same time, then there's my work. You know, you go to work every day, you human every day, you adult every day, and that adulting can be very monotonous and can be very draining. So now when I go home and I'm able to hop into VR chat or hop onto my VR headset, I can escape that reality. And escaping the reality of the world at the same time has been very beneficial in that sense. Even 15, 20, 30 minutes, being able to put that on and just forget about everything that's going on in the world, everything around you, and then you hop online and you know there's people out there, you know there's people you can converse with, and that in itself has been a very very different thing. Now the difference with VR is you get a much more visual experience. Obviously, um, if you really wanted to have a visual experience, there is worlds for that as well, where you can have the colors, the bright lights. You can have worlds that will simulate any emotion you can think. And with VR chat, it's very open in that sense because all the worlds have been generated by other people, and you can see the creations that people have put together, and those creations have been absolutely phenomenal and amazing in a lot of ways. Now obviously, things were a little bit different when I hopped into VR chat. I was experimenting, I was exploring the newfound hobby that I found myself in with the furry fandom. And you know, unlike a lot of people that would probably hop into something like this, I chose avatars that were more furry based, and that really kind of cements a little bit more in my head where I really find myself today, in a much different headspace in that sense. Now, diving into like World of Warcraft, yeah, you were behind an avatar in that, but I also always went with the more fiery motif. I always went with the aspects of the phoenix, and that's where I find myself today. It's always been something along that lines, and that's part of why this experience into the fandom has been very strange to me, because that side of stuff has always been beside me, and because it's always been beside me, it was kind of a shock when I dove into it and found a lot of people with the same sort of mindset that I have, and that's the difference that I am there. You know, we've spoken at length about conventions and people doing shitty things, and that's what humans do. There's very very many crap people out in that world, and they only look to take, right? But in a lot of ways, you sit there and you just want to televise the noise, and you you just have to hurry up and wait. Maybe some people in the comment section will get those references, but it's there's sometimes you sit there and you hop into VR, and when we do the VRC live streams on Friday, which the next 3 weeks are touchy. I don't know if they're going to happen in the next 3 weeks. Work is talking about us going to 6 days a week, and if that's the case, then I unfortunately, my live streaming days are might be put on hold, which I'm not impressed with, because that is one of my outlet and one of my ways that I unwind, and one of my outlets right now, and if I'm not able to have that outlet, it really does drain me mentally and physically. So this has been, for me, a lot of it has been very beneficial. When I did first start streaming as well, back however many years ago, like 7, 8 years ago now, it was in a sense of something needing to do something, and this is where I find myself now, mentally and physically. I needed to do something. I needed to dive into something more, and the VR chat was that option. So for me, mentally, it's been very, very beneficial. You know, at the same time, I try to be there for friends when I can. You know, obviously, the one thing that does pop up now and again is time zones. That has been probably the one of the weirdest parts of the VR chat, is finding time zones just being something more, and something that makes it more difficult to do things. But overall, it's been a fun experience for me mentally. I feel way better, I'm way happier, and I'm way more out there in the world right now, and I couldn't have anything more. Um, it's been absolutely amazing. So thank you for watching. And thank you for coming by. I am your proud Canadian Phoenix Cindershadow. I'm signing off here and have yourselves a great day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you again very soon.